Tentacles is a 1977 Jawsploitation horror film from director Ovidio G. Assonitis. This movie's about a giant killer octopus, so naturally, it starts in a taxicab. After driving and listening to some radio chatter for a few minutes, we see Solana Beach is getting ready for their upcoming yacht race. So this is their version of the holiday weekend in Jaws. Oh wait, more driving. Why is this guy duck walking? Gotta poop. Dear God, gotta poop! Over near the water, this lady is playing with her baby. The octopus is looking at it like breakfast. One of her friends shows up, so the two stand in the road to make their conversation everyone else's problem. Yeah, don't go back on the grass or anything. The friend then casually insults the baby.
And how's the little fatso?
I have a glandular problem.
Anyway, the real reason for this is to set up the upcoming disappearing baby shot. It certainly was nice of the octopus to wait until there was a bus passing by. The ladies then realize baby fatso is missing. A fisherman then calls the Coast Guard.
This is the codfish.
The what fish?
This is the codfish.
Certainly doesn't sound like cod. More like a four-letter word that also starts with C. Wow, they managed to find an actor with a real peg leg to play their Ahab. He gets harassed by this guy. This guy's stealing sandwiches when he hears a noise. Alright, maybe he's not the Ahab. Looks like he'll be washing Bill down with an ice-cold keg. Somewhere else, this couple's arguing over who kisses better. The girl gives him some unwanted attention, which is interrupted by the corpse of Bill. The Coast Guard's checking out the body. The bodies they found have been stripped down to the bone. They then offer theories about what they think happened.
Skeletons.
Well,
What? Got any answers?
Ozempic. Ned's doing research for his newspaper report when he's interrupted by his sister, Blanche Devereaux.
This isn't candy, it's passion.
and whom did you seduce last night?
Frankly and Nettie.
Till he decides it's the perfect time of morning to tie one on.
Why does it seem as though we had this conversation 40 years ago?
Because we did.
40 years ago? We're supposed to believe these two are like 50 years old? Just then, oh no, the lovable scamp arrives.
Boy, am I starved. I'm gonna make breakfast.
In another part of town, Mr. Whitehead is angry. He's upset because his wife won't shut her yap about the loons this year. Whitehead's running a company that's been doing some undersea testing that's probably responsible for the giant octopus. What's his company name, Umbrella? Whitehead asks if what's being written in the newspapers is true. It looks like he's actually in the dark about what's going on. This guy is probably the real culprit. Two divers are working on this contraption. Over at the coroner, he's looking at the skeleton of Bill. He said with the injuries, there's no way this could be a shark attack. Just then, the reporter teleports into the room.
For Christ's sakes, what did this?
I'd like to hear the answer to that one.
Over at SeaWorld, Ned asks Will, the local aquatic animal expert, to help him figure out what's going on. His wife Vicky arrives to sexy up the joint. Out in the ocean, they drop a submersible observation unit. And I'm sure nothing will go wrong. These guys would rather be doing anything else. The duo get pooped out of the submersible and swim into the area. They find the thingy from a few minutes ago, and they also have no idea what it is. Then there's these electric noises for some reason. They swim around until they see octopus stock footage. Then it inks them. The one guy gets eaten, and the other swims away as fast as he can. Good luck out swimming an octopus. He makes it into the submersible and begs them to pull him up. Don't pull it up too fast, you're gonna get the bends. It doesn't matter though, because the octopus is gonna crush him like a beer can. Over at the bar, Ned's been waiting to question Mr. Corey. He tells him to stop sticking his nose in their business. Tilly enters her son and his friend in a race. What's with that giant hat?
And a $5 registration fee each.
$5 each?
I just checked, and that would be $27 today. So yeah, that price is pretty ridiculous. The mother of the year then forgets her own son's last name.
Tommy, Frascati. Oh, I always forget him. My second husband was Italian.
What adult dubbed this kid's voice?
Oh, please, Mommy.
Please, Mrs. Turner.
Please, Mrs. Turner. Will and Vicky are registering at a local hotel for the big race. Ned again teleports in. He stops at the police station to talk to the sheriff. He tells the sheriff his theories about what's going on.
They had to have something in common.
They were all delicious. Ned then realizes what they all have in common is a radio, which little Timmy is listening to back on the beach.
It's against my principles to spend so much money on children. Why couldn't you take up a nice hobby like woodworking or baseball?
Oh, God. Maybe if I hold it to my ear long enough, I'll go deaf. Vicky tries to bribe Will with sex. He then negotiates just how long he's willing to give her oral.
Doesn't make you any happier. I only go down for 3 minutes.
3 minutes.
Over at the pool, that's a shag carpet's worth of chest hair. I think if the octopus eats this guy, he's going to be full for a week. We all swim in a tiny submarine. Will finds a bunch of stuff underwater. Oh, look! Toxic waste! The culprit of about 90% of these monster movies from the time. Ah, I see you've planted all the carp for the season. The boating trio are lost in the ocean.
Hi. Here's that stupid pain in the ass. I'm sick and tired of you.
Ah, what you doing? Manja, bada bing, pizza, gabagool. So, these two are the couple. First thing I thought of was this. He jumps into the water, and the octopus felt that one.
Adios, chica.
Oh, I'm gonna be eating good tonight. Back on the boat, the girl sees the one guy and, that's an odd way to swim. Man, this octopus is insatiable. I guess the first guy was the appetizer, then this guy was the main course, and the girl's dessert. Meanwhile, Will and his assistant make it back safely. Ted calls Whitehead.
Mr. Whitehead, I just had my ass chewed out by my editor.
Why, yes, that does sound sexy. Ted's beard is telling Whitehead he suspects his company is indirectly responsible for all the deaths. Since Will's been gone for 5 minutes, Vicky charters a boat to go looking for him. Will's talking to the sheriff because now he needs to go look for Vicky. Vicky's crew finds her friend's boat adrift. The boat's then hit by a giant flesh torpedo. Vicky swims to the other boat and gets eaten. Whitehead confronts Mr. Corey. He knows he's responsible for all the stuff that's going on. So I should start cleaning out my desk? Oh wait, he's not fired?
Your only saving grace is that I'd lose so much vital time if I replace you at this point.
I know you've been poisoning the water here and you're responsible for several people's deaths, but I don't feel like having to do work. It's the day of the big race. Man, cheerleaders were a lot older back then. Wait, those are the yachts? Are they? I thought this was a yacht. Oh well, they better be blasting some yacht rock. Will figures out it's a giant octopus, and he somehow knows that it ate his wife. Ned's interrupted by Sven Hoek.
Ned, I've been driving around for an hour looking for you.
She reminds him that today is the big yacht race.
Would a giant squid's range be greater than 30 miles?
Wait, squid? A minute ago you said octopus. That's different. They then call the Coast Guard to try to stop the race, but they're too late. Let the yacht race begin.
If you like pina coladas and getting caught in the rain.
Ah, it's an all-you-can-eat buffet. This race is so exciting that no one is paying attention to it. Tilly's talking to Tommy on the radio, and that makes their boat a target for the octopus. For some reason, the movie just pauses at random moments. I thought there was something wrong with my copy of the film, but nope, that's just how it is. Here he comes, and he's hungry. Wait, so he ate them all? What is this thing, the Kraken? Oh, they have a boat bringing in the survivors. Little Jimmy made it, but not Tommy. Will then heads out with this armored vehicle to hunt the octopus. Inside this thing is the 2 killer whales. He tells Free Willy 1 and 2 he needs their help to avenge Vicky. Is that a harpoon gun or a laser gun? The octopus attacks the boat, and they set the whales free. The duo gear up and go after the octopus. Will hears the loudest fish in the ocean. The two swim around, and the octopus almost eats them. That is until the killer whales show up and start killing. It's calamari tonight, boys! Now the octopus is dead, and he's single, Will considers a career change. Will then lets the killer whales know that they're free. And the other main characters, Ned, Tilly, and Mr. Whitehead, well, I don't know what happened to them. We haven't seen them for like a half an hour. Tentacles was a co-production between America and Italy. It was shot for about $5 million. I've heard rumors that they spent close to $1 million alone on a giant octopus replica, which then sank the first time they put it in the ocean, and they lost it all except for one tentacle. After the success of the 1975 film Jaws, which is often considered the first blockbuster, studios were all trying to cash in with their version. This started the Jawsploitation genre. Piranha, Orca, Alligator, Prophecy, and more. That's not even mentioning the numerous shark movies, like The Last Shark, Great White, Tintorera, and countless others. This movie was produced by exploitation master Samuel Z. Arkoff. The original script was more of a comedy satire, with it poking fun at the animal attack movies. However, Arkoff had it rewritten to be more serious. Crazy to think that this little weird film from an Italian director would have such a stacked cast. John Huston, Shelley Winters, Bo Hopkins, Henry Fonda, and Claude Akins. The lead actors for the film were all American, while the supporting cast was Italian, so the film had to dub in almost every one of the supporting cast. Originally, the role of Ned was supposed to be played by Henry Fonda. Right before this, Fonda starred in a variety of Italian films, like The Serpent and My Name is Nobody. However, shortly before filming, Fonda had a heart attack. Since the actor could no longer handle anything strenuous, they brought in John Huston to replace him, and gave Fonda the much smaller role of Mr. Whitehead. Fonda was paid a very large advance, but ended up only working for one day. Filming was mostly in Atlanta, Georgia, Oceanside, Pismo Beach, and San Diego, California. All the underwater segments were done in Italy. When I first saw the movie, I thought that they had some animal cruelty in it, with the octopus being eaten by the killer whales. After looking into it, I found out that the producers bought a dead octopus from a local fish market and just fed it to the whales, who enjoyed it as a delicious dinner. Tentacles is about what you would expect from a 1970s Jawsploitation. Stock footage, lots of people being eaten, and a plot that's pretty close to the movie that it's emulating. On the 50th anniversary of Jaws, it's crazy to look back at the sheer amount of films that came in its wake. Some obvious, some not so obvious. However, in all that time, after hundreds, possibly thousands of shark movies, there still hasn't been a film that could top the original. Tentacles is an enjoyable, goofy film. Just don't confuse this movie with one about naughty tentacles.
Oh, please, Mommy.
Please, Mrs. Turner.